Last addition to this leg setup before the third, fourth, and fifth tutorial are the pole vectors. So creating the pole vector constraints are very simple. Simply going up to create down to locator is one way to do it. Really, you could make them out of anything, but we're just going to use the locator in this case. I'll hit W to evoke my move tool, and I'll hold down V to snap to point. And what I'll do is I'll click and drag this thing up to the knee, okay? You could turn off the geometry so you don't have to worry about it snapping to a vertex or something like that. And I'll call this left leg PV, capital P, capital V for pole vector. And that looks pretty good there. I'll hit, well, hit enter to say that I'm done with that and commit to that name. That will allow me to use my hotkeys. So Control D to duplicate this, and you'll see that I have a left leg PV1. We're going to change that to right leg PV for pole vector. Come over here, hold down V, and this time I'm just going to snap it to the knee. I'll hold down V, hold down my middle mouse button, and just move my mouse, and it'll snap there, okay? So I have a right leg pole vector and a left leg pole vector. You want to do these at the same time. Same thing with the arms when you do the arms pole vectors. Do them at the same time. That way when you select them both and you move them forward like that, you can have them aligned. Okay, so they're perfectly aligned distance-wise from the knees of the character. I'll take both of these and go up to Modify down to Freeze Transformations. That'll get rid of any weird translation or rotational data inside of here, even any scales. Or actually, we'll set the scales to 1. And what I'll do is I'll do the left leg because I don't have the right leg set up. Okay, I am using a constraint. So you'll see that under my animation menu set, I have the constrain and I have pole vector. Okay, and because it's a constraint, I have to select the parent first, shift select the child. In this case, the locator is going to be the parent. And I could shift select the child, but I cannot see the IK handles. To show you real quick, I could make the IK handles a bit larger because my scene is larger. They are just looking very tiny. So I can go up to display, down to animation, and over to IK handle size. You see I have joint size, IKFK joint size, IK handle size, and joint labels here. Okay, so I'll hit IK handle size and I'll increase that. And now you can see my handles right there. Okay, so I'll just type in a 1. That's usually the default, but I must have made them smaller at some point. I'll go ahead and close this. So having this guy selected, I'll shift click on this handle here, and I'll go up to constrain down to pole vector. And now I have a pole vector. And to test that, I'll select just the I'll select the locator that we created, the left leg PV, and I'll move it side to side, and you'll see that my knee moves. If you're having a hard time seeing that, what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll bend it. And the pole vector is to help us fix the way the knee should be bent. So if the leg was supposed to be turned out like that, I can now use the pole vector constraint to go ahead and do that. Okay, this will help me get into an Indian stance or other different ways that if I were to move this, the IK handle would not allow for. Okay, so I'll just undo until I get everything back into place. That is working perfectly. And that is a pole vector. I would do the same thing to the right leg and to each arm.